All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Stanbic IBTC webinar um, titled Staying in Business. My name is Kayode Abbas, and I'm the moderator. I want to thank you all for joining us this beautiful morning. And I promise you this session is going to be worth your time. You're going to learn a lot from the panelists that we have on the session today. So without further ado, let me welcome Ibiyemi Mezu, Executive Director, Business Development, Stanbic IBTC Insurance Brokers, to give us the welcome address. Ibiyemi, over to you.
Thank you very much, Kayode. Good morning, esteemed clients, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you to this session, which we have themed Stay in Business. We are grateful that you made time to attend, and we believe it will be worth your while. Over the years, Stanbic IBTC Insurance Brokers has helped clients secure their assets through viable insurance options and effective claims management. For us, the challenges that our clients face are real and remarkably close to home. And this is because we are not just about starting businesses, but staying in business and building a legacy that will last and span generations. Our esteemed panelists will talk us through navigating the pitfalls of business and with insurance to ensure that our business interests survive the current challenges. We expect that you will have questions. Please put them forward in the chat or in the question and answer section. I will cover as much as possible during today's session. Our insurance experts will also contact you in the next few days to progress the engagement related to your current and future insurance needs. Once again, I welcome you to this event and I wish you a fruitful session. Thank you very much, and back to you, Kayode.
Thank you very much, Ibiyemi. So the aim of this session today, even the theme of the session, staying in business, it speaks to the notion that with insurance, longevity is assured for your business. The benefit of insurance is broad, and as a business owner, you are the ultimate winner. So before we go into the panel session, I would like us to take a minute to answer some poll questions. So we have a poll for you, a rather very interesting poll. You're going to find the first, take a look at it. It's going to pop up on the right side of your screen. You see a pop-up that says the poll is live. Please take a minute to just answer the question. So with that, let us go. Okay, so let's take 4 minutes to answer the questions in the poll. Then we'll go to the introduction and meet the panelists. Okay, the poll is live. Please just take a minute to answer the poll questions for us. It won't take more than a minute. Okay, so we're answering the polls. So let me just quickly announce the results. So 85% said insurance is important, is a must-have for any business owner. 15% said God is the ultimate protector, and 0% is indifferent. So it means that everybody on this call today understands the importance of insurance, which is very, very good. Thank you very, very much for taking the poll. So let me go right straight to introducing the awesome panelists that we have today. Okay, so I'll start with Mrs. Oluwatose Adenriwale. Mrs. Oluwatose is an accomplished executive with vast experience in operations, oversight, multi-channel management, P&L, product distribution, and she has experience growing a startup which is Just Right Superstore, to a global brand. She is presently the Pioneer Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer. She has a wealth of experience and her background is amazing. She has a Bachelor of Science in Insurance from the University of Lagos. She studied a module in Human Resource Management from Business School, Netherlands, and she's currently undergoing a study at Columbia Business School, Columbia University, New York. Thank you for joining us, Mrs. Oluwatose. It's really great to have you here. So also on the panel session, we have Ife Durosimi Eti. Ife is an author, an entrepreneur, and a young global leader with 10 years of management and leadership experience. She holds a first degree in biochemistry and an MBA in global business. She is the proud founder of Economy, formerly called AGS Tribe, a community she has developed and driven. She and Economy has won several awards, including being named the Peace Scholar by Dutch Ministry of Foreign Affairs. She's also been listed as one of the top 100 women by Leading Ladies Africa. She was also recently appointed as a Youth Advisory Group member. Ife's accolades are so much that, if we continue to mention them, we are not going to leave here today. But our startup, our business Economy, was also selected for as top 10 startups in Africa by Startup Bootcamp Accelerator Program. It was also selected for NASDAQ's Milestone Makers Program. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ife. We look forward to learning a lot from you. Also on the panel session, we have Chineme Onuoma. Chineme is the Chief Compliance Officer and Head of Legal at Novari Fund Manager Nigeria Limited. Prior to joining Novari, Chineme was the Head of Legal of Novari Property Developers. Chineme also worked with Kenna Partners, a leading law firm, and First Bank Nigeria. Chineme has over 13 years of legal experience. Thank you for joining us, Chineme. We are glad to have you here. Last but not the least is Mr. Anselm Igbo. Anselm is the Chief Executive of Stanbic IBTC Insurance Brokers Limited. He's an accomplished underwriter and an insurance broker with over 25 years experience in all aspects of insurance, both life and non-life. He's an associate of the Chartered Insurance Institute of Nigeria, and is also a certified member of the Nigerian Council of Registered Insurance Brokers. So you can see that we have a very, very interesting lineup here today, and I can guarantee you that you're going to learn a lot, from them. So let us dive right in. My first question goes to you, Mrs. Oluwatose Aderinwale. So I'm sure everybody here is dying to know your take on insurance and the insurance sector in general. What do you think? What's your take on insurance in Nigeria and in the insurance sector?
Thank you very much, Kayode. And good morning, everybody. I'm happy to be here, and thanks for inviting me. My background, like you said, is in insurance. I've been in business for over 30 years. So with the combination of these two, I think I have a bird's eye view about the possibilities insurance cover offers and the various concerns about the practice of the insurance sector in Nigeria. To focus on the question, insurance, be it for an individual, family, an entrepreneur, or businesses, is actually very important. As they say, life happens. And when those unforeseen developments happen, the mitigating factor of insurance becomes the difference between destitution, lingering sense of loss, and even these days, death. For the entrepreneur, it can be the deciding factor for remaining in business after a major disaster such as fire outbreak, burglary, flood, rioting, and so on and so forth. However, until recently, the insurance sector suffered from ineffective regulatory frameworks. Consequently, all manners of unprofessional and unethical practices were rampant. You find underwriters, brokers, and clients seem to be versed in fleecing each other, thanks to the recent spate of reforms that has brought sanity to the practice of insurance, and that also restored confidence in the sector. And so a big kudos to the regulatory authorities who have brought sanity into this sector. And right now, from my personal experience, I can say that confidence in that sector is at the highest. There's a lot of belief in the sector. All this fly by night and live in the briefcase insurance brokers have been pushed out of that sector. And from my own personal experience, processing of claims and preparation of policy documents have become more professional, and they are handled in a professional way. Avenues like this should be encouraged so that people can come to realize the positive impact, and then you disseminate the positive information about insurance business in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Mrs. Oluwatose. The importance of insurance cannot be overstated. So I would like to direct my next question to Mr. Anselm, who is also the Chief Executive of Stanbic IBTC Insurance Brokers. So Mr. Anselm, who is an insurance broker? And why should business owners or anyone go through an insurance broker? Why should they? Instead of going directly, why should they go through an insurance broker?
Okay, thank you, Kayode, for that question. It's a topical question because most people keep on asking, what is the role of an insurance broker? An insurance broker is an insurance expert that is grounded in the technicalities of insurance and what it takes for someone to take his insurance policy. And also, the broker will guide the insured when payment is being paid. An insurance broker is an intermediary between the insured and the insurance company. In every agreement, we always have two parties. So an insurance broker will now act as an intermediary between the insured the insurance company. We have various classes of insurance and our needs are very different. As an insurance broker, you have skills, the capability of all the insurance companies, the covers that will be relevant for your client. But most times people think that engaging an insurance broker, they are going to pay additional costs. No, this is a very good opportunity for me to debunk this. Instead of you to pay extra costs, an insurance broker will make you to pay a lesser cost. An insurance company will look at the risk exposure and advise you on the relevant risk that you are supposed to take cover on. If you are over-insuring, it is the duty of the insurance broker to guide you and let you know that these things you are insuring, you don't need them. If you are doing under-insurance also, it is the duty of the insurance broker to advise you that the extent of cover you are having will not put you back to the place you were before the loss in the event of any claim. So an insurance broker is not only an intermediary, we also advise our clients on risk improvement measures. What will they do to reduce the premium that they are going to pay? So if you look at all I have said, it will pay a client to pass his business directly through an insurance broker instead of going directly to an insurance company. It's like you having a case in court. Even if you are a lawyer, you cannot defend yourself. You still need to have an independent person with independent opinion that will not be partial in taking decisions and advising you properly. So that is the role of an insurance broker. We reduce the premium that a client is going to pay. We make sure the client gets adequate cover with minimal cost. That is actually the role of an insurance broker. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Anselm. Dear audience, I told you that, this session was going to be very beneficial. So you can, with what Mr. Anselm has said, we know why an insurance broker is very, very important. So my next question will be directed to Ife, Durosimi Etin. Ife, as the founder of Economy, that's formerly known as AGS Tribe, and a leader in your community, is insurance something you have recommended to other entrepreneurs? And how was the reception after you recommended it to them?
Thank you very much, Kayode. I'm very honored to be here. So let's just dive into it, right? Insurance is something that I recommend to every entrepreneur. And I like to tell stories. So I'm going to use some examples that you and I probably will have heard over the last couple of years here in Nigeria. The most recent one was the Akpogbo issue. We saw how there was a fire outbreak. A lot of people lost their products and services. And what even pained me the most was that most of them were low-income earners. A lot of the low-income earners don't even think about insurance, right? And these people are actually entrepreneurs. How are they going to survive that? How are they going to come out of that? How are they going to come out and even say they want to start again? They would start thinking anytime there might be another fire, right? So they've lost all their goods and services. But let's take another example of a huge departmental store that you and I know caught fire, I think last year. I heard that they had insurance, and it was easier for them not to die at that point in time. It's very, very important. And like Madam Tosi had said when she was talking earlier on, that separates person A or entrepreneur A to entrepreneur B if you're going to stay in business. And this is why people even say the rich get richer, right? And I like to say the wise get richer. It's important for you to have that insurance policy that would help you in time of need. And this shouldn't only even cover your own products and services as an entrepreneur. This should cover your health for you and your team if anything should happen. There are times where I see people, especially even during the COVID pandemic, when people got ill, some other people were ill at that point in time, but some people couldn't even afford to get seen by a doctor. But if they had, an insurance cover at the time, it would have been better for them. So it's important for entrepreneurs to have insurance. There are different policies, there are different insurance that I would normally advise people to get, from health to life to protecting your goods and services. Now let's go into how they received that information. They received it quite all right, but how are they implementing? Have they actually gone on to take an insurance or talk to an insurance broker to see which one is a better fit for them? It's important for entrepreneurs to have these conversations now and not wait till they get into trouble before they decide that insurance is something that should be at the top of mind of any forward-thinking business owner. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that insightful answer to that question, Ife. And thank you for bringing the issue, the Akpogbo issue, to light again. And I can just imagine the losses that, the business owners there would have suffered, especially those that do not have insurance cover. So incidences like that are, they are unforeseen, they are unpredictable. So if you have a cover, you can be rest assured that all of your goods, your shop, all of those things, you get, payments, you get reimbursed for all of those things when they happen. So if a fire incident like that happens to you, when everybody else is panicking, crying, you are going to be just smiling because you know that your insurance broker and your insurance will cover it for you. So Chineme, I would like to ask you, how can insurance be used? Because people just talk about insurance for cover alone, but how can insurance also be used as an investment tool? And how does having insurance impact, a business, one's, business reputation?
Thank you very much, Kayode. Just to break it down a bit, when you talk about investment tool, you are looking at the tools any potential investor will be looking at before making an investment decision, or essentially the tools that aid the investor to make an informed investment decision. In this regard, normally you look at maybe the financial forecast, the cash flow of that particular business. I will also mention that intrinsic in staying in business is also growth, because you can't be static. If you are static for a while, you actually go out of business. So when you talk about staying in business, it means that there has to be growth, and that growth will come in the form of bringing new investors or expanding your business. And there are many ways you can do. You can expand your business by getting new investors. Maybe you want to have a capital raise. When you go to an investor, some of the things they'll be looking at will be your the potential yield for that particular business. So they'll look at the cost benefit of the investment. But another very important thing the investor will look at will be the associated risk to that particular business, and more particularly how the business owner has tried to hedge against those risks. When we look at strong brands, it's not so much about how long they've stayed in business, but also how they have been able to go through adverse events and how they've come out through them stronger. So in this, when I talk about adverse effect, this is what affects the business and then the brand and the reputation of the business. And you can't have or try to hedge against any risk against your, that comes to your business without an insurance policy. And this is really where that comes into play in terms of maintaining your brand and also strengthening the reputation of your company. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chineme. Very insightful answer. So speaking of the Akpogbo incident, it brought me back to the EndSARS incident that unfortunately affected Just Right, which Mrs. Oluwatose is the CEO. So Mrs. Tosima, so I wanted to ask you, as a business owner, how insurance has benefited you, especially during that, EndSARS period when your store was boggled. How did you see benefits from being insured?
Thank you very much, Kayode. Business itself is a big risk, a very big risk anywhere in the world. But in our country, Nigeria, here, it is magnified and amplified. That's the risk. So a wise entrepreneur should prepare against these unforeseen, uncontrollable, and unpredictable situations that could cripple the business from which it may never recover. Because once you find yourself in this situation, you will need a lifeline. This is why it is important to have some form of security in place, like insurance. Let me illustrate. In every business location, provisions are made for whether you are building a house or you're building your business location. You provide windows, doors, and other security. You invest in other security measures. These are mainly preventive. And you put them in place, yes, to prevent some situations occurring. But a proper security architecture should take care of both the preventive and the restorative aspects. So insurance for any business is the restorative aspect. When you have put in the preventive and then it fails, then there's something that you can fall back on to give you a lifeline. Several entrepreneurs tend to make the mistake of focusing only on the preventive, and they either regard the restorative as a luxury because insurance premium scares them. They believe that it's a waste of money. I can take my problems to God. I can wish it away and believe it will never happen. So coming back to the EndSARS that you have raised, yes, one of our locations was boggled by hoodlums during the EndSARS. And then as soon as, like I said, we put in a lot of preventive security measures. We had guards there, we had burglar proof, we had CCTV and all of that. But remember what happened then. Nobody could stop the hoodlums. They came in their, hundreds and all of that, broke into the store, vandalized the whole place. And we were even grateful. Imagine that. Thank God they did not raise the place down. And then once we were able to move in, like I said, I put a call through to my broker, who came, did the assessment, and then the underwriters came, took it over, and within a very short period, the claim was processed. We were back in business. We had that lifeline that we had as a backup, and we called upon it. And today, we are in business. Within a couple of weeks, the branch was opened and running. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing that experience, Mrs. Oluwatose. And I'm really sorry that you had to go through that kind of occurrence. It's not something that I wish for any business, to watch your shop being looted, and you cannot do anything about it, So it's a really, really scary incident. So I would direct my next question to Ife. So as an entrepreneur, what type of insurance would you advise should be the priority for any kind of business?
Firstly, I would say you need to obviously protect your goods and services. So if you have equipment, if you have laptops, it's very, very important for you to protect that. And I would say why. We had an instance in my office where we got burgled. My staff was going home, and she got, they snatched her bag, and her bag had her laptop and had, other, tools and everything with it. And they took it. And since then, obviously, everything was lost. We couldn't recover it back. But she was traumatized. So it had a negative effect on her own health, which obviously we had to deal with. And thank God we even had medical insurance to cover that. And these are things that we don't normally think about, the effect of when those sort of things happen. Also, but we didn't have protection on the laptop. So we had to replace that laptop. And that cost us, a lot of money. But if we were wise enough to understand that, we don't only need health insurance, we could have also covered, some of our work tools. It would have been better for us. I would say, work tools are very, very important for you to protect. Also, your health. You should also have car insurance. Some offices have, cars, like pool cars that they use for their team. And if if you've ever had a car or anything like that, you know that the cost of repairing a car, even if it's a small bash, they'll say, they have to remove the whole bonnet, they have to do this, they have to do that. So it's important for you to also protect, those things. Also, life insurance. And this is for the entrepreneur or the owner of the company. If anything happens to you, your family can get covered. They can get money and stuff if anything ever happens to you. A lot of people, and what I find with that life insurance is also very, very small. What you have to pay is always very small, but people don't really understand the impact, God forbid, if anything happens to you, and how it can help your family in the meantime when it happens, because of the shock and everything. So top of mind for me is protecting your goods and services, your goods, obviously, when you start a business, your health for you and your team, life insurance for you as the business owner. If you can afford to also help your team, you can do that for your team, or advise them to get life insurance and your car insurance. Those are the top 4 for me that I would advise entrepreneurs to do, especially at the beginning of their business when they've not expanded to be able to afford all the other insurance covers. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that detailed answer, Ife. So my next question would go to Chineme. So Chineme, we're all victims of the economy, rising insecurity, violent conflict, that is threatening progress, right? How do you think that insurance, how is insurance a sector that is important for economic development? How can insurance help with economic development?
All right, thank you. I'll tell people, the higher the risk, the more important and the higher the need we have for insurance. And then in terms of the importance of insurance in economic development, right? realized that the United Nations Conference on Trade and Competition had actually highlighted this importance when he noted the fact that a strong insurance and reinsurance market is very critical for economic growth for a nation. I will also look at the importance of insurance, particularly from the perspective of the capital market. If you look at the capital market, it's a financial market infrastructure known as the central counterparty. This central counterparty essentially functions similar to an insurance company by providing counterparty risk protection. So essentially, where there's a default by a buyer or seller in the securities industries, the counterparty now comes into play to secure against that default. And what essentially it does is to provide a lot of stability in the capital market and also prevent systemic risk. The insurance companies, especially when they are very strong, provide similar confidence in the economy in terms of being a safety net for business owners and then investors, because what then happens is that this higher risk that you've mentioned in terms of the weak economy, in terms of the insecurity, what happens is that if any of those risks were to materialize, then there is the fallback and the safety net that you have a strong insurance company. And if those business owners have a proper insurance, it means that it will be easy for them to bounce back into business and continue as though nothing has happened to them. And during this conference, we've heard about a lot of adverse effects in terms of maybe fire, insecurity incidences, and what has guaranteed those businesses to continue back on their feet is because they have or do not have insurance cover. So yes, very like rightly mentioned, insurance is very, very critical to economic growth. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chineme. And it's really good to hear from different angles. You from the legal side, Ife from the entrepreneurial side, Mrs. Tosin from the business owner angle. So I would like to let's hear also from the insurance broker, Mr. Anselm. So there's something called utmost good faith, that scares a lot of businesses from insurance. So I would like Mr. Anselm to explain what utmost good faith is and his take on it, and how people feel it has been used against them when they want to process an insurance claim. And also, how is Stanbic IBTC protecting business owners from being taken advantage of, or using utmost good faith against them?
Thank you, Kayode, for this question. It's a very topical issue, especially utmost good faith. But before I go into that, Ife in her presentation actually presented the role of an insurance broker in the sense that they insured every other thing, they didn't insure the laptop. So when you have an insurance broker, we give you that particular advice to let you know that you can cover everything. There is nothing you cannot cover as far as you have the premium to pay, and also as far as it adheres to the basic principles of insurance. And one of the basic principles of insurance is what we call utmost good faith. When we say utmost good faith, we cannot discuss about utmost good faith without saying or relating it to a common statement we normally say, that he who goes to equity must go with clean hand. So it aligns with utmost good faith. Since it aligns with utmost good faith, what it means is that at the point of inserting the risk, you should be able to disclose to the underwriter through your insurance broker all the risk elements you have. Some of them will improve your risk, some of them will increase your premium. But while you are filling the proposal form, there's always a column that asks you questions. For example, do you stay late at night? You will say no. Then eventually you have an accident that was as a result of you not seeing very well in the night, maybe because you returned very late. Or when you are filling a life policy, there's a column that asks you whether you have underlying illness. You also say no, because you don't want the underwriter to know that you have one issue or the other. then death occurs and it was found out that it's because of an underlying illness, which you know. Ordinarily, the insurance company can repudiate the claim based on that because it didn't disclose the basic things that will enable them to assess the risk more professionally. And since they didn't assess the risk more professionally, you have breached that principle of utmost good faith, which is one of the basic principles of insurance. So as an insurance broker, the only way we can save our clients from entering into this particular pitch is by letting them know right from inception that they disclose everything that is relevant that will improve their risk, that will make them get a reduced premium. For example, when they ask you, do you have fire extinguisher? Assuming you want to take a fire policy, in order to look good, you say you have one. Maybe the rate that are supposed to charge you, they reduce it because you have a risk improvement measure. If they now find out that when the claim happens that you didn't have a functional fire extinguisher, you have breached that utmost good faith. So what we do, we won't ask any person to breach the basic principles of insurance, but we are going to guide our clients right from the let-go, that they must provide all the necessary information that enable the insurance company to assess the risk in a more economical and profitable way to both ways, so that when you have claims, your claims will be seamless and their checks will come out on good time. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much for, simplifying that, the process and, telling us exactly what utmost good faith means. And I hope, that everyone on the call here understands what it means and they know how, to avoid it being used against them. So I would ask Mrs. Oluwatose, so what do you think, or believe that, do you think or believe that having an insurance can serve as a security measure for, small businesses, local businesses? And can you share a personal experience, of maybe when you were still starting up as a small business, how insurance was able to, secure or, serve as a security measure for your business at that point?
Okay, thank you very much. I will just answer that with a story that happened, something that happened in 2007 precisely. And so we had just one location then. We were just starting the business, and overnight there was this heavy rain, and then the storage area was flooded. All our stock in there were damaged. And when I got there that morning, people around were, sympathizing. And I just took the phone, called on my broker, and informed them what happened. Immediately they came. And this was a time that it was just one store. We were just still struggling to stock it up, and no savings, no suppliers credits, no lifeline at all. And so immediately they came, they did the assessment, on the spot assessment. As usual, they informed us, told us, guided us on what to do, and processed the claim. Within a very short period, we got the claim, and then we were back in business. So, Kayode, I imagine if at that time, 2007, we didn't have this lifeline to fall back on, no insurance cover, it was just one store, and we had the bank loan that was running at about 30% interest per annum and all of that, and then this tragedy happened. And maybe the business would not have survived that tragedy. But thank God we had insurance. We were able to process the claim. And from there, from that single store in 2007, as of today, we have 16 other locations in the southwestern part of Nigeria. So insurance for me has really benefited my business. And I can say that that lifeline that I got back then in 2007 kept me in business and sustained my business. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma, for that personal story. A lot of people here don't realize how you started from, just a store outside your house And today we have Just Right, which is a mega store in different locations. It's a really inspiring story. I'm sure for people that will follow you after this, they'll be able to get some of that story of how you started it. And it's good that insurance was able to make that possible for you. Okay, so I would like to ask Ife a question on so what would
Okay, I think Kayode system is hanging. Okay, we are back now.
Yeah, so sorry, the question was at Ife. Ife, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so I said, would you advise business owners to think about insurance at the beginning of their business? Since it's vital to make informed decisions when starting a business.
Thank you, Kayode, for the question. And I'll take a cue from what Madam Tosi just spoke about. And by the way, I'm actually a Just Right customer. I went to Covenant University, and that was our saving grace. So I was there in 2007, in Ota. And, just seeing how, I didn't even know it was owned by a woman. And I'm just so inspired. And I'm definitely going to contact you, after this. And obviously, it's obvious that because of your insurance background, you are in business today. Because you can imagine if you couldn't come out of that situation, Just Right wouldn't be where it is today. And I'm going to now take you back to my own, personal experience. I quit my job in 2017, and I went into full-time entrepreneurship. And when I was leaving, I told my team I wanted to take my work laptop. I begged them. I was like, see, guys, this is all I need. I just need a laptop so that I can just, continue in business and everything. But they told me, based on, the policy, that I couldn't take the work laptop. But they surprised me with a gift of a brand new laptop at my Sendforce dinner, right? So I was very excited about this laptop and everything. I left that job to focus on my business. At the time, I was doing furniture for children. So we had just moved into our workshop. We were still doing it up and all of that. First week into full-time entrepreneurship, we got boggled. People broke into our workshop and stole everything, all the laptops. So I had my laptop. We had bought laptops for all the other people working on the team. They took all our chairs, literally everything. And we were literally back to square one. Obviously, I didn't have any insurance, nothing at the time. This was in 2017. I was not wise, enough to get insurance. And it was very, very tough for us to get out of that situation. At the time, we thought we would have a buffer, to just, take things slow. We don't really have cost. We had said, okay, we're going to start taking 80,000 naira as salary and all that till the business, balances and everything. But it just threw us into the deep blue sea. We didn't have any money at the time. It was extremely tough. And I just wish I was like Madam Tosi at the time with insurance background. And I also didn't trust the system that, it would be very easy for me to process a claim. So it wasn't even top of mind. So, and this was at the beginning. So guess what? Most entrepreneurs at the beginning of their businesses, they're not necessarily thinking about insurance. It's something that comes at a later point in your business when you started generating revenue, you are now more profitable and all of that. You're not thinking that anything can literally happen at the beginning, but it happened to me at the beginning of my business. So it's important for every entrepreneur to take insurance very, very seriously at the beginning of their business. I also know a founder who was very, very ill last year, and it was literally her health insurance cover that helped her through that period. And when she kept on sending me the bills, I was like, oh my God. And she was so lucky that the insurance cover that she chose for her health was the one that could cover what actually was wrong with her, because it was actually something very deadly. So if she didn't have the right cover at the time, she would have spent so much. You'll have probably had to have a GoFundMe account to be able to take care of her at that point in time. And she was the founder of the organization, and this organization was at the point of scale. But because she was lucky because she didn't have to start thinking of taking money from her business to start, taking care of her. So it's important for every entrepreneur to have that at the top of mind when they're starting out their businesses. I also like to talk about, Stanbic IBTC a little bit and I'm not even saying this to toot their horn or anything like that, but the process to claim your cover or anything when something bad happens to you is very, very quick. And I'll just give a little example, because some of the time we do these things without necessarily thinking about, when it's time to claim. So one that I've personally claimed was I took out money out of my pension from my Stanbic pensions account. Like I said before, I quit my job in 2017, and I had saved up a little bit to help me when I was going into full-time entrepreneurship. But I got extremely broke in between in 2018. But I said, you know what? They said when it's time, and if we need money from our pension, we can take it out and all that. And I just tested it and I got money out. And that was my saving grace in 2018. And I know that if they could do that for that arm, and I know that, the process is seamless in all the other arms of their businesses. So it's important for you to take insurance or any of all the services from a trusted provider. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ife. I mean, there's a long queue of us that are going to meet Mrs. Tosin after the session. So join the queue. We're like 70 something on that. All right. So let me direct my next question to Chineme. So, as a legal professional, what do you think is the benefit of having insurance, for Nigerian businesses, especially?
The benefit of having insurance can already be gleaned from the stories that we've heard. I also have similar story. As much as it don't affect me directly, it affected a friend who just bought a car, and luckily for him, he had the car insured. The first day he drove the car was taken from him at gunpoint. But luckily, nothing happened to him, and he also had a car full cover insurance, which enabled him to get back the cost of that car. The same principle also affects, or it can be directly related to any business, right? Like they say, there is no venture or business without risks or associated risk. And then, what you then must have to do is to have, when you're going into a business, a proper risk management policy. And there is no proper risk management policy that does not have an insurance incorporated in it, right? So I'll just point a few direct benefits of having an insurance. One of them is to minimize financial losses. Most risks come with financial losses, except for maybe life, but even life. But most risks come with financial losses. What the insurance does for you is that rather than carry the cost and the financial loss, you transfer that risk to the insurance company. For me, I work in a real estate or commercial real estate company, and we have two general types of cover, which is the property damage and then loss of income. So people also don't know that there's a loss of income for your business type of insurance. So if we have any property damage, the insurance company steps in to help us to repair that property damage. And when that property damage has resulted in us not being able to operate, for the tenants to trade and all, what then happens is that the insurance company not only repair the damage, but they also carry the loss of income that would have earned within that period of repair for us. Another benefit that you'll see will be that it helps with having a business continuity plan, right? If for any reason, just like Tosin also mentioned, maybe if they did not have insurance cover at the time, their business might have just collapsed at the time, and then wouldn't have up to 16 stores, which the currently price itself of. Another benefit will be in transferring or sharing risk, right? So if any risk or adverse event occurs, what happens is that the insurance company comes and then you can share that risk, or essentially don't transfer the full effect of that risk to the insurance company, and then it allows you to move on with your business. And that very important aspect that I would like to highlight is that it protects the image and reputation of that company, right? If, like they say in my place, adversity is a true test of a man. If and then it's also the same for a business. If an adverse effect happens to happens to a business, and is able to stand tall irrespective of that, that is what helps it to build a strong brand that people would like to invest in or be associated with. So with this, I mean, these are some of the benefits I would like to highlight at this stage. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much, Chineme, and thanks for that proverb, adversity. Stanbic IBTC Insurance eats adversity for breakfast, right? So I would like to pass the last question to Mr. Anselm. Why Stanbic IBTC Insurance Brokers?
Thank you, Kayode, for that question. Before I answer the question, I'm very mindful that we have over 80 attendees in this session, and I want to pin it down why they should use Stanbic IBTC Insurance Brokers. Before we entered into this business, we looked at some things before we say we're going to play in the insurance market. One of them is the trust issue. Most people don't trust insurance, and most people are not even aware of the function of insurance brokers. So we now look at it. We are riding on a brand with over 153 years. We are a subsidiary of a brand of over 153 years. We have done businesses in other sectors and we are successful. Just as he first said, how he collected his money in pension. So we are very confident that since we have entered the insurance industry, that we are also going to be very, very competent in this area, which have been shown in the past 7 years we have been in operation. So why the insurance public should use us is because of our reputation. We have an existing reputation. We have a strong brand of over 153 years that we are riding on that have done all classes of business. So insurance will not be an exception. Be assured that we are going to place your risk with the right insurance company. Secondly, we have over 40 insurance companies, both life and non-life. We don't just place our businesses anyhow. I'm happy that majority of the panelists are not insurance people, and they have all shown us their experience. As Tosin said, there is nothing like placing business with strong insurance companies that have the capability. Out of the 40 insurance companies, we only deal with 12 underwriters. So, and before you pass through our approval process to make that list of acceptable or approved insurance companies, we must have analyzed their pedigree. We must have been comfortable that you are going to get our claims of our clients as our end due. Because at the final end, the client will only be looking at Stanbic IBTC Insurance Brokers, not the insurance company that the business is placed. So we are very careful on the type of underwriters that we place our business with. And I can say here that they have not disappointed us. One of our clients was talking about rental income, which most people are not aware. These are some of the things that we use our cloud to help and get for our customers. Then, the second reason why you should use us is that our own is not commission. No, we can come into your company and do what you call risk assessment. We may tell you not to place the business with us. I know commission is important to us, but we assess your risk and advise you on what to do. If you are doing unnecessary insurance, we will let you know that this one you are doing is not necessary. If you are doing under insurance, we also let you know that you are underinsured. In the event of any claim, you may not be able to be taken back to the position you were before the loss, which is the major purpose of insurance. Finally, as an international organization, we have the capability to place your businesses as far as we have fulfilled the local content, which says that a certain proportion of our businesses must be placed locally, assuring our clients that we have the international league to place your businesses at the international market. More especially, our license is extended to cover insurance broking. And with that, and together with the affiliation we have with world-class insurance companies outside Nigeria, we should be able to place your business, be it oil and gas, be it in aviation, be it in international healthcare. Be rest assured that Stanbic IBTC Insurance Broker is the right partner that will take you to the right place for you to get your risk insured and also give you a seamless claims processing because we deal with only reputable insurance brokers. Thank you. And these are the reasons I employ our clients to stick to Stanbic IBTC Insurance Brokers, the ones that are already with us. And we have received a chat concerning how someone will insure his fire and burglary. Be rest assured, our business development team will meet you across, and these are some of the reasons why you should continue dealing, or if you are not dealing with us, to deal with Stanbic IBTC Insurance Brokers. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Anselm. So let us open the floor now for questions. If you have not asked your question and you have a question, please put it in the question and answers box, and I'm going to address it. Okay, so at the moment, I can see 6 questions in the question and answer box. So I'm going to just throw the questions out there to the facilitators, or maybe I should just, call names, just address it to a particular facilitator. I'll decide. Okay, so the first question here is that, okay, claims payment has remained a challenge mitigating the growth of the sector. How has Stanbic IBTC Insurance improved claims payments in its operation? So this is obviously for Mr. Anselm. So someone wants to know that how Stanbic has improved payment of claims, since claims payment is a challenge that has been affecting the growth of the economy.
Okay, I've mentioned this, I've dealt with this in my presentation. Quite all right, we agree that claims settlement is a challenge. But from where I sit as an insurance broker, I see a lot of claims. I don't strongly believe that claims payment is the issue. Sometimes it's the documentation of those particular claims that makes the claims linger. There are some claims that will report claim. It will take them 60 days, 90 days before they document and substantiate their claim. If you don't substantiate your claim, there's nothing an insurance company can do. And that is where the function of an insurance broker comes in. We guide you right from the time you are reporting the claim. And luckily for us, we now have an app where you can log in your claims, do a snapshot of the incident if it is a motor claim. And a lot of insurance companies have improved in their claims processes. Be rest assured that within 4 working days, you can get a motor insurance claim paid. But that will not be applicable to a loss of friends claim. Sometimes people think that all claims are the same. All claims are not the same. Some are more detailed, and you need to substantiate it by getting a loss adjuster. So what we do is that right from onset, when we are filling the proposal form, we prepare our mind, and when we are sending the policy documents, we don't only send the certificate, we also list in the certificate the steps that you are going to take in the event of any claim. By that, we are guiding our clients. But if the person is not passing through an insurance broker, he may not have that opportunity of being guided on the steps to take when claims occur. Thank you very much.
For that answer, Mr. Anselm. All right, so there's a question from Oputa David, editor at Business BizWatch Nigeria. He's saying that for SMEs, would you advise an umbrella policy or just specific covers, maybe in consideration of their business size and profit margin? So I would like to direct that to Mrs. Oluwatose. So for SMEs, would you advise umbrella policy or just specific covers? So is talking of asking the question in line of the business size and the profit margin. So should there be an umbrella coverage or should it just be specific, to like maybe fire or burglary or something like that?
Thank you very much, Kayode. From my own experience and what we do, so we have a policy, but in that policy, we have the different classes of insurance specified there. So you have fire, and then it will list the contents of the fire. You have burglary, you have all the other classes of insurance, but it's in one policy document for us. It's in one document, but different classes of insurance. And for example, if you want to protect your revenue or your income or your profit, for example, it's another class of insurance. So you cannot just have one. It's an umbrella, but it covers everything. But under it is still broken down and specified by the classes of insurance. That's what we do, as advised by the broker. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ma. Thank you so much, Mrs. Oluwatose. Mr. Anselm, do you want to chip in?
Yes, umbrella policy is quite good. I think the person that asked this question must have experience. For corporate clients, the best thing for them to have is umbrella policy. But for SMEs, and that is actually where the bulk of the population, where we are still preaching, come and do insurance. The best thing for them is umbrella policy, whereby they have one policy that will contain all the classes of insurance. But because of the state of their business, most of them will not be able to afford umbrella policy. So it's still advisable that they start with the ones that they can do. If they want to do only motor insurance, at least they start. By the time they have a good experience on motor insurance, they can add other classes. But the best cover for them would have been that umbrella policy. But because of cost, and most of them are small scale, they would like to take their policies individually. Thank you.
Sorry, Kyle, I would just like to also add a bit this specific question. Just by saying that, like I say, every venture there are risks that are associated with them. And then if you also have a very good internal risk management policy to help you to identify the risks or the high risk that you have and the lower risk. Yes, insurance premiums can be quite expensive, and depending on the profit and then the revenue of the company, may not be able to absorb an umbrella policy. But then in that way, you must then have to prioritize looking at your risk exposure and the higher risk that you have, and then probably try to take out an insurance cover with respect to those higher risks. And that thing I would then also advise, especially business owners and entrepreneurs, would be to incorporate insurance costs as operational costs in their business. The moment you also have that outlook that this forms part of my operational cost, because no matter, even if you don't have money, you know that there are some operational costs that you must have to find a way of raising the cost for it. If you also include that as part of your operational cost, one way or the other, you find that you also are able to raise the money to pay for your insurance. But lastly, remember that you sincerely don't have control over the nature of risk that could affect your business, right? So that helps you to make a more informed decision, the insurance to take and the insurance not to take. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for that contribution, Chineme. We have another question here from Chinyere Aga. So she's asking, she says, I'm starting a new arm of business. Please, what's the procedure for insuring my business? Ife, do you want to take that?
Okay, I'm starting a new. Speak to your stockbroker. Speak to Stanbic IBTC insurance brokers. That's the first thing you need to do. It's as a business owner, sometimes you don't even see all these things. But if you speak to somebody who is a professional, the person will guide you on the perfect way to go about it. There's no point racking your head like I did in my time where I said, oh, okay, I did health, but I didn't cover, laptops and all of that. It's important for you to speak to a stockbroker, and it will make your life easier. And you would even see how you can even negotiate better because they have a pool of people that they work with. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ife. So another question here from Chinenye Nzemeze. She said, for example, I have no mishaps in my business this year. After paying my premiums, will the payment be rolled over to next year? Uh, so, uh, do you want to take that? Ife,
I,
then after that, I want to hear from Mrs. Oluwatose as well.
okay, she can take it.
Thank you very much. Funny one. Actually, I think that should be part of the misconceptions we've had in the insurance sector, and why people believe that, they're not, they don't pay claims and all of that. A lot of people believe that once I pay the premium and there's nothing happened during the period, then I should get some form of refund at least. It doesn't work that way. Insurance is a pool of risk, so you pay premium into the pool, and you don't have a claim today, but somebody else is claiming from that same pool. So it's non-refundable. Of course, for example, the premium you pay, if you want to make a claim, of course, it's just a fraction of the claim. The sum assured, of course, is far greater than the premium you pay, because the premium is just a percentage of the sum assured. So of course it's non-refundable. Thank you.
I would like to add to that as well. So a practical example was my car insurance, right? So in my first year, when I got my car in 2020. So obviously, when you get a new car, it's shocking you get your insurance, right? So I got the insurance the first year and nothing happened, right? So I was like, second year, because with my first car that I got it long time ago. I probably got it when I first moved back to Nigeria in 2012. So after the first and second year, I didn't pay my insurance again, which was very bad. But this time I was wiser, right? Because of all the experiences I've had over time. So I paid the first year, 2020 to 2021, nothing happened. 2022, they reminded me. At that time I was thinking, I don't really have money at the time, but let me just pay it. Immediately I paid it. A month later, I had an issue with my car. Like somebody bashed me and it was bad. And the premium, what was paid back to me was more than what I had even paid as my cover. So imagine if I didn't have that, I would have been crying. It would have been so bad. So it's important for you to speak to people and, professionals, so that, you are covered properly, and just take the risk. You have to pay it. If not, you would bear the consequences at some point. It might not be today, it might be next year, but it's important for you to take that into consideration. Thank you. Kayode, are you there? Okay.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes,
Okay.
we can.
Okay. So I said thank you very much, Ife and Mrs. Oluwatose. So I have a question that I would direct to Mr. Anselm. So this is from Reggie Onabs. So he asked, or she asked, that how can individuals be assured of prompt payment of claims, and what can be done to improve insurance awareness, as there's a low penetration of insurance in Nigeria? So what is Stanbic doing to improve insurance awareness, and how is Stanbic going to help, or how is Stanbic helping to for prompt payment of claims?
Thank you very much. I'll start with the last one. What we are doing to get people conscious of insurance. One of them is this webinar we are doing. This thing we are doing now cuts across a lot of people. Some industry people are here, some non-industry people are here, and also prospective clients are here. So what we're doing is by engaging the insurance public to let them know actually the benefits of insurance. Secondly, our brand and marketing department has been assisting us. We put up articles in newspapers educating the insurance public on the available insurance policies. So with this, we are contributing to insurance awareness. Also, Stanbic IBTC Insurance Brokers is a member of Nigerian Council of Registered Insurance Brokers, which is an umbrella body of all insurance brokers. So we also use that platform to sensitize the insurance public on what to do and the benefits of insurance. Then the most important thing is that they say he who wears the shoe feels it. By the time you lodge a claim and we're able to provide a claim within a very short time, you'll be convinced to start using insurance brokers to pass your businesses. So we are going to assure you that you are going to get that. With that, we win the confidence of the insurance public. And also, the regulator is also trying, because a lot of things have now changed in terms of digitalization and the way we submit our reports and everything. Things are now coming out faster. So we are also partners in that particular process to make insurance more seamless. We believe that with that, insurance will be more acceptable, and a lot of people will have confidence that when their claim comes, that they will pay it. Then on the first question, how will you be sure that your insurance will be paid? As I said, once you bring all your documentation right, and also you obey the principle of utmost good faith at the inception of the policy, and we, considering the brand we are carrying, we place your business to a very reputable insurance company. Please take it from me, go to sleep, and be rest assured that you have your claims and the documentations are right, you will get your claims paid. Not only getting your claims paid, you get your claims paid on time. And not only getting it paid on time, you will have equitable payment, which means you get what is due to you, not what the insurer feels to pay to you, because you have a strong insurance broker standing behind you. Thank you very much.
Sorry, please, I'd like to add to what Kayode, sorry, can I just add to what he said? Sorry. Sure. I think why penetration is low is because of our cultural mindset as Nigerians. We like to wish evil away. We like to say, oh, God is going to handle things. But one of the ways that Stanbic with educating more people and getting it to the top of mind of a lot of people is by showcasing people who have gotten their claims and how it has benefited their businesses. We are very visual beings, and if we showcase all these people, show videos of the time when they had an issue, maybe there's a fire outbreak, but we don't talk about that side. We just talk about, oh, we have this service, we're providing this service, but we don't necessarily showcase people who have actually benefited from that. And this is mainly focusing on insurance now. I've never seen an ad to say, oh, my store caught fire and, I was able to process it this so and so way. So if we do more of that and continue showing people that, okay, this thing is happening, I'm able to process it fast, this was how it happened, you would see more people taking insurance more seriously. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very, very much for that contribution, Ife. Really, really insightful. You just added the icing to the cake. Okay, so thank you very much to all our speakers. So we would like to send the second poll question now. So please just look to the right of your screen. We have sent out the poll. The poll is live, so please help us answer the question on your screen. So the question is simple. Just put your answers in just 1 minute, or 1 second actually. It's just one question. So look to the right of your screen. You'll see the poll is live. Click on the button, click on the poll, and then just pick an answer and vote. Okay, so so it is 63% have said that, or 60% now, that, 67 now. 67%, actually the numbers are growing. So a lot of people are agreeing that yes, they will now insure their business and personal possessions. Some people are still thinking about it, and some are already insured. We're glad to get these responses, and we're happy that you've been able to gain a lot of insights that will that has made you convinced, to insure your business and your personal possessions. So with that, I would like to invite Mr. Ifeanyi Oko, Business Development Manager, Stanbic IBTC Insurance Brokers, to give us the closing remarks. Mr. Ifeanyi, are you there? Mr. Ifeanyi. Hello? Okay. Will Ibiyemi be taking the closing remarks? It doesn't seem that Mr. Ifeanyi is on the call. I think as a result of his network. Ibiyemi, can you do the honors? Hello? Can everyone still hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you very much, Kayode.
Okay.
Please confirm you can hear me. You can
Yes,
see
we
me.
can. Yes, we can.
Okay. I want to say a very big thank you to all our panelists, and to also say a big thank you to all everyone that joined the session. I took a lot of points from the discussions, even though I work in the insurance industry. Those points were very, very valid. Thank you very much for our panelists. We do appreciate the time that you have spent with us this afternoon, and we do not take you for granted. As we wrap up the session, wish everyone a great day ahead, and thank you once again for joining us. Thank you.
Yes, thank you everyone for joining us. Like Ibiyemi has said, Stanbic IBTC Insurance is the broker of first choice for anyone, for you if you want to ensure the security of your assets and your business. I mean, think of Stanbic IBTC Insurance when you think of insuring your business and your assets. They are the number one, the first choice for insuring your assets and your business. So with that, we have come to the end of the webinar session. At the end of as soon as the session ends, there's going to be a survey pop up on your screen. Please take it won't take more than a second to answer the survey. Please help us so we can get feedback and, prepare other more interesting and more insightful webinar sessions like this for you. Thank you very, very much once again for staying with us till the end. We really, really appreciate your time. We hope it was worth your while. And thank you so much. And we hope to see you at the next webinar coming soon. See you soon, and God bless.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.